Hello, and welcome to the reading for the energy of Gemini. So for this series, I am using the Dream Keepers Tarot by Liz Houston. This is the 1909 replica of the very first original deck printed by Writer. I think it was Writer and Sons, and Arthur Edward Waite did the descriptions of the cards, and Pamela Coleman Smith did the wonderful illustrations. And it just so happens that Pamela Coleman Smith's birthday was February 16th. I did a little tarot chat and a little reading for that in honor of her birthday. So check that out in the chats playlist if you're interested. This down here is an oracle deck called the Timeless Tales Oracle by Olena. I believe they're on sale now. I did a flip through of the Dream Keepers and the Timeless Tales, and so I linked that in the description box. And if you follow the link to the Timeless Tales flip through. I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time articulating my words. Within that description will guide you to Olena's website. This artwork is beautiful, and I love it. And it's by Midjourney, the artwork is, and Olena did the card meanings and all of that. So, okay, let us get started, Gemini, with your reading. It is a little dark in here, reason being because this deck right here has a beautiful back. It has a nice bluish gray color with a beautiful filigree, and with the light on very bright, it totally washes this out. So I kind of wanted to showcase the backs. I'm a very visual person, and I know not everybody cares about cards, card backs, card artwork, but you know I do. So yes, so I just wanted that to be showcased at the beginning of the reading, and with it being washed out, I had to dim the lights. So as soon as I start drawing your cards, as a matter of fact, I can do it right now. We will turn up the brightness. There we go. All right, much better. Ooh, those came out. You know, that happened earlier. So this one comes first. 6 of Cups, and then the 7 of Cups in reverse. Oh, bring that down a bit. Okay. And so that just leaves one more for you, Gemini. So we've got a watery message here. King of Cups. Wow. Very, very watery. And he's upright, which is good. I like this King of Cups. The art on here is just kind of quirky and cool. Just to have it. And the Queen of Cups, I believe, is just like this. And she's facing him, which I find very intriguing. I love it when the court cards face one another. Okay, so lots of water. 6 of Cups, 7 of Cups in reverse, and our King of Cups is air of water. I read all of the kings as air, and because he's in the suit of cups, he is air of water. And that just means that he is clear in expressing himself. He understands his emotions. He understands other people and their emotions. He is very sympathetic. I wouldn't say empathetic. I would say Queen of Cups is more empathetic, but the King of Cups is very sympathetic, and he definitely feels he can understand your situation while it may not make him cry. I'm going to plug in my computer really quickly. He can definitely understand, whereas a Queen of Cups, she'll cry right along with you, and she'll see puppies behind cages and stuff being in a puppy mill and just start crying. So So the Six of Cups is a card of nostalgia, of past memories, happy past memories. And the Seven of Cups is a card of fantasy, head being in the clouds, kind of creating a reality that is not based in like our physical reality, but maybe going deep into virtual reality, kind of it's escapism. And with it being in reverse, and our King of Cups is looking at that. So I feel because the King of Cups is very understanding, he works within the mind, but also the heart. And he's looking directly at this Seven of Cups. And I get the feeling that there might be a situation in that you're aware of something going on where it might not be presenting itself the way it should. Not so much deception, but perhaps it might be our own fantasy being projected out somewhere, and it could perhaps be because of something in the past. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the second part of my reading, which is drawing from a second deck and pulling out some cards that will help us further understand the message. And I use a second deck because in my spread, this is a spread that I created and curated on my own. I didn't start out reading tarot with a spread like the Celtic Cross, but I started out reading with one card. And then I started out reading with 3. Once I got a little bit more familiar with the meanings and all of that, I started to use 3 cards. And it kind of went and became its own from there. So we are going to use this second deck, another set of 78, 156, since I use reversals of more meaning. All right, Gemini, let's see what's going on here. So we have Temperance in reverse, Judgment in reverse, the Five of Cups in reverse, again with the King of Cups, the Nine of Swords, the Fool in reverse, 10 of Swords, 5 of Swords, and the 8 of Cups. Very interesting. All of our minor arcana are either swords or cups. And then our court cards, the other minor arcana, are King of Cups, which is sword of cups, air of water. And then we've got the Fool, Judgment, and Temperance all in reverse. So we do have 3 major arcana here. Wow, this is very interesting, Gemini. Ooh, let me switch your view so you can see what it is that I'm looking at. So see, we've got sword, 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 cup, cup, and cup. Then we've got King of Cups. Oh, and then we've got a cup right here. Then we've got King of Cups, which I assign them. All kings are swords, air, and he's in the suit of cups, water. So water, air, air, water, air, water, water, air, air. And along with that, we've got, oh, and then don't forget our 2 water cups up here. So there is, let me see, 1, 2, 3 swords, and 1, 2, 3, 4 cups. That's 3 and 4 is 7. Just working with my numerology here. And I'm going to gonna take a quick drink of some tea. I just made a fresh batch. I feel like I'm gonna need this. I'm just gonna hold it right here like a baby. Okay, so with our nostalgia, we've got temperance, judgment, and then the 10 of Swords in reverse. So everything here is in reverse. And so I get the feeling that this living reminding of nostalgia is not necessarily a good thing. Temperance being that it's an equilibrium is needed. Temperance is all about evening things out. Moderation is the key with temperance, and judgment. It can be read as a rebirth, but generally I read temperance as a taking stock, and really using it as a card of a self check, I guess you could say. Are you doing things in the present that are going to get you to your goals? Are you doing things according to your moral compass? Are you doing things that are going to that would make your mom proud, that would make you proud, your children proud? Are you heading your life in the correct direction that you want to head in? So it's kind of like that check. I always say taking stock. It's kind of going in and making sure everything is functioning as it should be, and doing its job. Then, and with these both being in reverse, I feel like there is a neglect of not only taking stock and understanding what it is you're doing, but also the moderation. 10 is a really harsh ending. And what I see that this is showing up is that the ending that is coming up is going to be harsh. And it's going to be very, almost like pretty abrupt. And I feel that you might be spending or putting too much stock into this nostalgia, this past situation, these past memories. We do have the 5 of Cups in reverse, and this deals with heartbreak. So it might even be possible that you're ruminating and sort of reliving heartbreak, not allowing it to pass through. And then we have our King of Cups showing up here, which he is kind of our guiding light. He is using the mind and the heart to possibly guide us out of this situation. But with our 7 of Swords being in reverse, I think that it might be a person, or it could be an aspect of your personality. You're not taking heed to the advice of the King of Cups. I don't know if it's because you want to stay in this past energy, or you want to perhaps even just kind of stay in this fantasy land. But the King of Cups is really trying to bring you out of it. And I feel that over here with the Fool being in reverse, and our, the 9 of Swords being that nightmare card, that anxiety, things going on in your mind, the way you're processing it, it may or may not be keeping you up at night, but it's definitely bringing a sense of unease. And I feel that it's really keeping you from, broadening your understanding of the situation as a whole. We do have the 8 of Cups in reverse, which this is a card of walking away, leaving things to find better a better situation, leaving a tough situation that's not really, bringing you joy or bringing you the happiness that it once did. And so now you're going to go off in search of perhaps completing, getting that completed 9. And so with this card just kind of makes me feel that you're not wanting to leave. You kind of want to stay here. And this card is, this reading actually is very similar to another reading that I just did. And that, that energy was really wanting to stay kind of, and just kind of roll around in the misery. And with the energy of Gemini, Geminis really like to think about things almost to death. Just like to think and run scenarios over and over and over and just keep thinking, well, what if this happened? This could happen. Well, this could be going on. And, and then pretty soon you get into a state of anxiety because you don't know what's true anymore, because you have created so many scenarios within your mind. Your mind can't discern which was created and what actually happened. So what I'm seeing here is there needs to be a definite meeting of the heart and the mind. And we do have a lot of that showing up. And the only card that is the only 2 cards aside from our King of Cups that are upright are our 6 of Cups and our Nightmare card. And what that is telling me is that this whole mental situation, I think, has been brought upon reworking the past, reworking this nostalgia into a point where it has really, starting to not only drive you crazy, but it has put you in a situation where you're unable to tell the difference between a storyline that you have created versus what really happened. And that's what I'm seeing here. And I can't really tell if, like I said, if this King of Cups is actually a person who is of sound mind and of even emotion, a nice balance of the two. If this is actually a person, or this is an aspect of yourself. I'm leaning towards an aspect of the self, but I'm not really sure, like I said. So if there is a person in your life who exudes those types of qualities, someone who is very solid in their emotional state, and they're able to process things in a healthy manner, and is able to use their logic to figure out, what's going on, apply any theories that they may be familiar with, and just kind of, be a brainstormer as to solving a problem. I would seek out the help of that type of person. And it might even be a professional that you might have to seek out here. And on the flip side of that, this could also be your intuition telling you that something's not right, that there needs to be a balance here. So that's going to have to be something that is that you're going to have to figure out. And this is a general reading, as all my readings are, and pretty much every tarot reading on the internet is. We cannot possibly read for the entire world and have one reading applied to everybody. Aside from the fact we all need food, water, and shelter, but that would be such a general reading. So take what you will from this reading and apply it to your situation, and use your discernment, use your logic, and use your feeling, your emotion, your intuition as to how any of this can apply to you, and see if it can help in some kind of way. All right, Gemini, let us pull a card from the Timeless Tarot and see if there is a little bit of extra wisdom that needs to be imparted. So I usually choose decks that kind of match with what I'm reading, with the cards that I'm reading, and this deck doesn't quite match. I mean, it might be a little close to the Dreamkeeper's Tarot, but this is kind of a smorgasbord here. You know, I've got a nice buffet going. But, you know, it doesn't always have to match. I was actually just called to use these. I didn't even know I had this 1909 reprint. I did not even know. All right, I love how things just work out. Gemini, let's see what card you have. Release. Oh, okay. So let me show you the beautiful coloration of this card. You can just see the warmth coming from that fire, just warming her up, and how everything around her is just so cold. But yet she's finding solace in that fire, finding warmth. Okay. Release is page 117, which in numerology, that's number 9. Illuminate the darkness with the luminescent flame of the release card, kindled by the heart-wrenching tale of the little match girl, symbolizing the letting go of earthly burdens, surrendering to faith, and finding solace in transcendent. This card is a testament to the cathartic power of release. When the release card graces your reading, it gently beckons you to unburden, to let the old flames die out and allow new flames to light your path. So maybe that's what this is. This could be reminiscent of the old, the Six of Cups being nostalgia. The meaning. Here, let me read you a little bit about this tale, because I'm not really familiar with the Little Match Girl. The Little Match Girl unfolds the story of a young, impoverished girl on a freezing New Year's Eve, attempting to sell matches but failing. As the cold intensifies, she strikes one match after another, each revealing a comforting vision, a fleeting warmth against the cold reality. With every vision, she releases a part of her earthly struggle, eventually finding eternal warmth and peace with her departed grandmother. Oh, isn't that nice to find our ancestors within the flames? The release card embodies the essence of surrender, acceptance, and the transformative power of letting go. When this card intertwines with your narrative, it casts light on what you're holding on to and invites you to consider the liberating possibilities of release. Recommended actions. If you sense an anchoring weight or lingering pain, consider rituals or practices that facilitate release. This might mean journaling, meditation, or even physical acts like cleaning and decluttering. Engage in activities that symbolize letting go, like releasing balloons, burning written thoughts, or practice deep breathing exercises. If you sense an anchoring weight or lingering pain, oh, this is a reprint of the same. Oh gosh, this is a first print for this deck. I have found this would be probably number 5 error within this book. There's also an error within the card as well. But you know what? That doesn't really bother me too much. I just, it tickles me when it happens, actually. So, I think I'll just have to let her know that way. I don't know if I'm going to let her know. I already let her know on the first 3, maybe 2 that I found. And I don't want to keep emailing her, hey, found another one, because eventually she's going to hate me. And I'm sure someone else is bringing it up to her as well. Okay, Gemini, thank you so much for your time. I hope you can find this release here. You know, it's nice to have memories, but it's not always nice to be reliving them over and over and over again. With a personality, I was guilty of this myself a few years back, and I've recently been able to get this under control, where I would run things over and over in my head, different scenarios, and then, you know, I just didn't even know what was what anymore, and it was literally driving me insane. And it was making me just be very weary of people, and just I was just not in a good place, and so this can happen. It can happen to people who are not even Geminis, you know? So, so my advice, I think, to release something like this is maybe keep a journal, and perhaps when you start feeling ways where you feeling in a way where you need to start ruminating on stories and storylines, perhaps write them down like the author suggested, and burn them. And to release something like that, also speaking to someone, maybe, like I said, a professional, a therapist, who has a very good understanding of the mind, the psyche, and emotions, and getting them out that way. I know many therapists are very good at helping you to come to your own conclusions as to what you feel is right, and they can steer you in the proper directions. Okay, so another deep reading. That's kind of been the theme for today. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next video, or you'll see me. Yeah, I don't think I'll see you because I don't see anybody. Okay, I'm gonna stop rambling. Bye.